Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be starting a new how to play series. This series will involve board games, card games, and it will stretch across multiple game genres and mechanics such as engine building, deception, legacy, trick taking, and many more. Today we will be learning how to play the board game Everdell. Everdell is a 2 to 4 player worker placement game created by Starling Games and distributed by Tabletop Tycoon. In Everdell, you will be playing through a year's worth of seasons to attract critters to your city, establish constructions, produce resources, satisfy events, and gain victory points. You will start in winter and end the game in autumn. Today, we will be setting up a 4-player game. First, place the game board in the middle of the play area. Place the Ever tree at the top of the game board. Resources are placed on their dedicated spaces at the top of the game board. Point tokens and occupied tokens sit to the side of the game board. Shuffle the forest location cards. Place one at each forest clearing. In a 2-player game, only use 3 forest locations, leaving the bottom right location empty. Place the basic events in their locations. Shuffle the special events and place 4 on the lower branches of the Evertree. Shuffle the game cards, place 8 cards in the middle, and place the deck face down under the Evertree. Each player chooses a color and starts with 2 workers. Each player places their 4 other workers on the upper branches of the Evertree, 1 worker for spring, 1 worker for summer, and 2 workers for autumn. The first player draws 5 cards, the second player draws 6 cards, the third player draws 7 cards, and the fourth player draws 8 cards from the main deck. The most humble player goes first, or you can choose whoever wants to go first. Play starts with the first player and proceeds clockwise. On each turn, you must do one of 3 actions: place a worker, play a card, or prepare for season. Placing a worker. Deploy one of your workers to various locations to gain resources, draw cards, achieve events, and go on a journey. To deploy a worker, place one of your workers on any available paw print symbol. Then proceed with taking the indicated resources or performing the indicated action. This worker is now deployed until you bring them back with the prepare for season action. You may not place a worker to block a location. You must be able to perform some or all of the location's actions. There are 2 general types of locations: shared, portrayed with an open circle, or exclusive, portrayed with a closed circle. Multiple workers, even from the same player, may visit a shared location. Only one worker may visit an exclusive location at a time. There are 8 basic locations. These are along the riverbank at the top of the game board. These locations provide various cards and resources to you, such as 3 twigs, 2 twigs and a card, 2 resin, 1 resin and a card, 2 cards and a point token, 1 pebble, 1 berry and a card, or 1 berry. There are 4 forest locations along the sides of the game board. In a 2 or 3 player game, there is only room for 1 worker at each forest location. The locations with the 4 player symbol are only available in games with more than 3 players. You may not place 2 of your own workers on a single forest location. The Haven allows you to discard any number of cards from your hand and gain 1 of any resource for every 2 cards you discarded. Only in autumn, you may send a worker on a journey. You must discard cards from your hand equal to the listed points of the location you choose. Deploy workers are worth the value of the listed points at the end of the game. Journey locations are permanent. You may not remove a worker from here once you place it here. Destination cards feature 1 or many exclusive locations. You may deploy a worker to any available destination card in your city. You may also deploy a worker to any available destination card in an opponent's city if that card has an open symbol. When you do so, that opponent receives point tokens from the general supply as indicated by that card's open sign. You may deploy a worker on any basic or special event only if you can immediately achieve that event. To achieve an event, your city must meet all the listed requirements on the event, and you must pay any required resources at the time you deploy your worker to the event. Only 1 player may achieve each event. Place the event in your city now or when you prepare for season. You may play a card from your hand or the meadow. Think of the meadow as community cards in poker. Everyone can use them. Pay the listed resources to the general supply and play the card face up in front of you. There are two card types: critters and constructions. Critters and constructions can be common or unique. You may have multiple copies of any common card in your city, but you may only have one copy of any unique card. All constructions and critters have resource requirements. Constructions will cost a combination of twigs, resin, or pebbles. Critters will cost an amount of berries. However, they can be played for free if you have the matching construction listed in the top left of the critter card in your city. For example, to play the minor mode, you can pay the cost of 3 berries, or if you have the mine in your city, you can play the minor mode for free. To play a critter for free, place an occupied token on the related construction card in the bottom right corner of the construction card, covering the picture of the related critter. You may gain only one free critter per construction. The occupied token is not removed from the construction if the free critter is removed. You do not lose the free critter if the construction card is removed. Your city has a maximum of 15 spaces, not cards. Event cards do not count against this 15 space limit. Cards remain in your city unless another ability removes them. If a card is discarded that has a permanent worker, point tokens, or resources on it, those are lost with the card. If the card has a non permanent worker, leave the worker on the card until its owner's next prepare for season action. Cards have different effects once they enter your city. Green production activates immediately when played and once during the prepare for season actions in spring and autumn. Tan traveler activates once immediately. Blue governance offers discounts to play cards or grants bonuses after playing certain card types. A card's bonus is not earned from playing itself. Red destination activates when a worker is placed on it. Cards with the open symbol may be visited by opponents. Purple prosperity adds bonus points to your total score based on the listed condition on the card. This is the order of operations for playing a card. First, use one card playing ability. A card playing ability is any effect that influences the cost of playing a new card, such as the dungeon, judge, or inn. Second, pay resources or use an occupied token if playing a critter for free. Third, if the card is coming from the meadow, replenish the meadow. Fourth, place the new card into your city. If the new card removes a card in your city, remove that card first. Fifth, resolve any immediate effects of your new card. And last, resolve any trigger effects from other cards in your city as a result of playing your new card, such as the courthouse or the shopkeeper. Always draw cards from the main deck unless specifically told to draw them from the meadow. There is a strict hand limit of 8 cards. You cannot ever have more than 8 cards in your hand. If you get to draw cards, you can only draw up to your hand limit. If you give cards to an opponent, you must choose one who has room in their hand. Give as many as possible and discard the rest. If a metal card is played, immediately replace it with a new card from the main deck. If a player draws multiple metal cards, draw all cards first and then replenish. If the deck runs out, shuffle the discard pile to form a new deck. If an ability requires you to discard cards, this is always from your hand unless otherwise specified. Prepare for season. If you have deployed all of your workers and cannot or do not wish to play a card, you must prepare for season. Bring back all of your deployed workers. Gain the listed bonuses for the next season as listed at the top of the Evertree. Play continues to the next player. Autumn is the last prepare for season action you may perform in the game. Players do not have to perform the prepare for season action at the same time. In spring, you'll gain 1 new worker and activate all green production cards in your city. In summer, you will gain 1 new worker and draw up to 2 cards from the meadow, if able. In autumn, you'll gain 2 new workers and activate all green production cards in your city. When you have placed all of your workers in autumn and cannot or do not wish to perform any more actions, you have finished the game and must pass on your turn. If a player has passed, they cannot be given any cards or resources. Their workers remain deployed and they can receive point tokens when workers visit their city. Once all players have passed, count up the points for the base value of each card in your city, point tokens, purple prosperity card bonuses, journey points, and event points. The player with the most points wins. If there is a tie, the player with the most events wins. If there is still a tie, the player with the most remaining resources wins. If there is still a tie, all players share the victory. Everdell does have a solo mode where you compete against a cranky old rodent known as Rugwort. Rugwort will look to invade the city of Everdell in a period of 3 years, and each year it will increase the intensity that Rugwort attacks Everdell. In year 1, he is Rugwort the Rascal. In year 2, he is Rugwort the Rotten. And in year 3, he is Rugwort the Rapscallion. In each year, there will be changes in how actions occur between you and Rugwort and how in-game scoring occurs. There are also variants that you can use throughout each year to make the game even more challenging against Rugwort. And that's how you play the game Everdell. I hope you enjoyed this video and tell me how your experience is with playing Everdell.